Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. It is 6 p.m. on the dot. And if I may ask Madam Clerk to call roll.
Chair Faust, Vice Chair Peterson,
Here.
Commissioner Goodroyce,
Here.
Commissioner Sanchez,
Here.
Commissioner Tremblay.
Here.
All right, thank you. And to lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance, I've got Commissioner Sanchez.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, seeing as we have no presentations, I'd like to move on with approval of our minutes from the May meeting. Is there any?
Approved.
Good. Do you have anonymous approval on that one?
A second.
All right, thank you. Let's see here. Madam Clerk, do we have any agenda modifications?
No modifications.
All right, and can I get, let's see here. Do I need approval for that one? Do I need any approval for the agenda, or are we good?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, public comments. Let's see, we do have one speaker.
We have one speaker, Valerie B. Hargrove. Please approach the podium.
Okay, real quick, I'm going to read the, my apologies, Valerie.
That's okay.
This is the time for members of the public to address the commission about items which are not listed on the agenda. The Ralph M. Brown Act limits the commissioner's ability to respond to comments on non-agendized items, on non-agendized matters. My apologies. At the time such comments are made, each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes on any single item. Please submit a completed speaker card to speak to the commission secretary. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you for having us here, Honorable Council, by invitation of Bryce. My name is Valerie, I live in Menifee, and I'm here to talk about the La Ladera Park, and all of us are pickleball players, so we wanted to come and see with many upgrades are in plans for the park, and we wanted to know if there was any upgrades or any budget that has been assigned to some possible changes for pickleball, because as you know, it's growing, and that park is used every day of the week, mornings and evenings, weekends and Sundays. So that's why we're here. We're just wanting to let you know that we would like to know if there are any plans for the pickleball courts. Thank you.
Thank you, Valerie.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Moving on. All right. Thank you for that, Valerie. Okay. So we're going to move on to section item 8.1, recognition of July as the Parks Make Life Better Month.
Hi, good evening, Vice Chair and Commissioners. Every year, we come together with Parks and Recreation agencies across the country to celebrate July as Parks Make Life Better Month. So just a little bit of a background on what that is. It was first initiated in 1985, so this is the 40th anniversary of Park and Recreation Month. The purpose of this campaign and this month is to really celebrate the positive impacts of parks and recreation departments on overall well-being, including physical and mental health, social interaction, and community engagement and economic vitality. And this year, our National Recreation and Park Association, also known as NRPA, has themed this year, Build Together, Play Together. So our team works 7 days a week to ensure that we are providing exceptional customer service, high quality programming and events, and then of course well-maintained parks and facilities for our Menifee residents. Just a list of some of the notable accomplishments our department has done this year so far, one of them being the implementation of our new Veterans and Military Families Advisory Committee. We are now preparing a second season of our aquatics programming in partnership with the Paris Union High School District, set to start on the 23rd. We've been selected for $750,000 in matching grant funds to develop the first city park in Quail Valley. We've hosted 14 special events so far in the areas of cultural arts, senior services, veteran and military recognition, and even kickstarted our Summer Park After Dark series. As you know, we have many, many more special events to come for the rest of the year. And additionally, we've been awarded 2 grants from the NRPA to advance gender equity in youth sports and develop a professional training program for the coaches here in our community. We look forward to continue serving our community the way we do best. So our City Council will be presenting the July is Parks Make Life Better Month proclamation at the July 16th council meeting. We would like to formally invite our commissioners to attend and accept the proclamation on the department's behalf.
Thank you so much. All right, so moving on to item 9.1, director comments. Oh, hold on. Back to 8.1.
Sorry, do you know what time that meeting is going to be at? My apologies.
City Council is at 6 p.m. and proclamation is at the beginning. So, yes.
Thank you.
And thank you all to our public for coming in. Thank you, guys. All right. I think we might have a question here. Would you like to?
Is it on item that's on the agenda? So that's not on the agenda, so that would have been under the public comment area. Is there an If you want to address the commission, we can go ahead and if the commission would like to go back to the public comments section and allow him to speak during that area.
Sure, we would.
You can ask questions, however, we're not allowed to answer questions at this time. Public comments are intended for residents to come forward and provide information, and if you would like additional information, the commission could then address either at a future agenda item. As a non-agendized item, we cannot provide feedback because of the Ralph M. Brown Act. So if it's an item that will be added to the agenda in the future, we might be able to address it at that time. However, this would not be the place.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to section 9.1.
All right, so we're moving on to director's comments. I do have a very important update that I'm excited to share with our commission tonight, and that would be the recent acquisition of Menifee Hills, which is open space just north of the Oasis senior community, and this is an important open space area that was recently acquired and purchased by the city. It's 398 acres of open space, completely funded by development agreement funds, so no general fund impact. The $1.15 million to purchase the land, if you go down to like the per acre value, it's an extremely great deal. So we're excited to be able to be a part of this process and in order to enhance our park acreage, especially when it comes to open space and then protecting valuable land here in Menifee. So this absolutely aligns with the priorities of our recent update for the Parks Master Plan, as well as the City Council strategic plan, because again, we want to preserve what we do have and then allow for additional opportunities, recreational opportunities, and with hiking, biking, trail development, and additional opportunities for our trail system. So excited about this. So there's definitely lots of future programming potential. Currently, with the Community Services Department taking kind of ownership of this open space land, we're looking at enhancing the accessibility of this area. So meaning that we had previously in previous years talked about the Salt Creek Trail, which kind of goes through the city of Menifee and kind of ends at Antelope, but wanting to continue on through the user-created trail that's behind the Oasis community. So this land now being under city ownership opens up the possibility to revisit the connectivity of the Salt Creek Trail, so that's exciting. And so again, we're originally at this point in time looking at ways to increase access to Menifee Hills, both on the eastern end towards Antelope by WellQuest and the Salt Creek Trail, and then also on the western end, and then the eastern end from Menifee Road, which currently is not under city ownership, but again, looking at potential ways for easements through private property to ensure that this is an amenity, an open space that residents can enjoy for many, many, many years to come. So really excited about this opportunity for our community services department and for the city residents, and just being able to maintain this is something that we're going to be working towards, and Bryce and his team are going to be looking at future potential opportunities for development with utilization of grants. But when we say development, we're not talking about buildings or homes or anything of that nature. Definitely wanted to keep it open space, but when we talk about some of the trail areas and creating trailheads and kind of placemaking opportunities at some of the Vista areas, those are things that we're going to be looking at in the future. So so I wanted to make sure that you guys had the opportunity to ask any questions about this if you had any, but more information to come. As we know, one of the future agenda items requests was to ask and talk about land acquisition for hiking, biking trails. So we're glad to be able to say this is definitely going to help us accomplish those goals. So that concludes my update.
Commissioners, do we have any comments or questions? Go ahead, Commissioner
Do you
Tremblay.
know how soon the space will be available to residents, like where they can hike? and
Yeah, the
bike
space
ride?
is available now.
Okay.
So it's currently open to, these are what we call like user-created trails. So although they traverse across private property, there are things like prescriptive rights, because people do utilize it at their own risk to be able to access this now, which a lot of residents do by staging on the Menifee roadside and then kind of hiking up the hill. But we're just looking for ways to make it more official in the future by getting those easements and maybe additional right-of-way acquisition to allow for more staging and actual official parking areas. But it is open and available now.
I have a question. Is this in the vicinity of that landing strip for RC planes?
Yeah, so if we take a look at the map on the screen, that kind of like opens flat place area right above the water tower on the right-hand side where Menifee Road is, that's where the RC planes are. So that's currently Riverside County property, which at one point in time used to be, well, I guess it still is, landfill. And so that's where the RC planes are.
That's landfill?
Yes.
Okay. So someone who lives in the community asked, actually it's my father-in-law, but they have a group of people who go to Hammett because they have a pretty nice landing strip out there, but I understand that probably is going to go into development. And they were asking if there's any possibility of maybe getting a flat landing strip somewhere in Menifee. They appreciate that one there. As a matter of fact, my in-laws live across the street from there. But it's not for them that great of a location because of the hills. Maybe something we can talk about further, down the road if there is flat land where they can, maybe establish a landing strip.
Yeah, so for this property, if that's not working out for them, then we're not looking to venture into the radio flyer business. But if that's something the commission would like to explore in the future, you could definitely request that as a future agenda item.
Okay. I know it's very early on, but any idea and projected time as to when we'll have official hiking trails and everything else? We've given it 5 years, 7 years. Couple years.
I don't have an official timeline, but we are working on doing the homework and kind of coming up with a feasibility study to kind of come up with a phase-out plan so that we can further estimate how far we can get in either further establishing our trails, completing the Salt Creek Trail, and some of those other things like parking and staging. So we're still very much in the early planning process, but we definitely plan to come back to PRTC with additional information when available.
Thank you.
Commissioner Goodrice.
This is a great development, and it's good news. I would like to ask if you know what's the zoning's going to be along Menifee Road for homes and things of that sort. I seem to remember something about condos or apartments.
So which area are you?
Along Menifee Road.
Along Menifee Road.
It's open now, I see on the aerial shot. It seems to me that was some kind of high-density planning going on there.
There's the only portion owned by the county is that where the radio flyers are. North of that, I want to say that's all residential. I just don't know the density off the top of my head. But now with the city owning such a large portion of the hill that can't be developed, I don't know exactly what the next steps are going to be for that area. So I think part of our assessment is going to be whether or not the city looks at acquiring additional space to.
That's where I was going with this, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a possibility, but.
That's what I'd ask. And also, as far as your operating budget, with a big chunk of land like that, does that mean more employees, more money for community services? Has anybody considered that?
We've definitely considered that.
Okay.
As of right now, because it's open space, technically open space kind of functions at the maintenance level, kind of at the lowest maintenance level, because it doesn't require, mowing, or there's no irrigation or anything like that. Right now, our main priority is ensuring that if there's any responsibility for our department to maintain fire breaks within that area, that we maintain those. And we're still looking at what those costs will be, but it does look like something that will come out of our parks budget. But yeah. Still developing, but it should be, because of the open space, it's not maintained like one of our sports parks.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
The possibilities are endless with that much land, what you could do with it. Everything
Yes.
from campgrounds to equestrian facilities. That's very exciting news. Okay, well, thank you. I'm glad that this has happened.
I actually have a question about that land. Is it, just out of curiosity, because I do communications and things like that for my day job. Is that something where at the peak of that you could lease land off to a communications provider for a tower? Not like a cell tower, but like for, point-to-point wireless communications?
I don't know if that's in the plans.
Okay.
But I would imagine if that was something that was being explored, that maybe the previous owners might have explored that. But I know that in the city's plan, our intent is to keep it open space.
Got it. Yeah. All right, thank you. Okay, do we have any other comments or questions? We're good? All right, moving on to 9.2, Parks in Progress Update.
All right, I don't have too much update on these 7 either parks or developments, parks within those developments. It's about, obviously we're gonna get about 40 more acres of parkland, just for usable parkland, not open space or anything like that. Cimarron Ridge and Valor Park, the only two that are in construction. We're in final design, obviously, for Sun City Green Space, and then also Quail Valley. We're out for the conceptual design. We're out for bid to be able to get the actual design for that park, and we'll be bringing that forward when we do have that to commission, so you guys can see that. But as of right now, those are my updates for Parks in Progress.
Sounds good, thank you, Bryce. Do we have any comments or questions? All right, moving on. 9.3, Solid Waste and Recycling Update.
Good evening. I have a pretty quick update as well. Waste Management is continuing to do outreach to the community, mainly with HOA workshops to let residents know about the contamination monitoring. That's requirement of the SB 1383 organics state mandate. We took a really fun trip a few days ago, so it's technically June, to the Waste Management El Sobrante landfill in Corona and recycling center in Azusa to shoot a PSA with our city TV team and PIO team that we're really excited about. And so hopefully that'll start airing, and they'll put some social media stuff out sometime in August. And so I think it'll kind of demystify a lot of the operations that, go on behind the scenes with like where our waste ends up, once it leaves the curb. So also, WM will be hosting a community booth at the Independence Celebration. They'll be giving away WM swag as well as food waste pails, and then they'll be providing tips on backyard composting and education. And lastly, we routed 37 illegal dumping bulky item requests in the month of May.
Wonderful, thank you very much. Do we have any comments or questions? Okay, moving on to 9.4, Recreation Division updates.
On your screen, you will see the Recreation Division update with the attendance for the month of May. As you can see, our numbers are steadily increasing, especially as we get ready for the summer. You can see some pictures from our Senior Expo and Wellness Fair, which was very heavily attended and continues to grow every year. Additionally, our Art Affair event boasted over 200 entries from local high schools and junior highs, and this included paintings, sculptures, short films, and photography. And as we get started into our summer series, you'll see those numbers keep on increasing. Next is our revenue update for the month of May. As we're preparing for all of our summer camps and our summer field trips, our revenue numbers will see a sharp increase. Additionally, with some increased camp options this year in our contract camps, as well as Watch Me Grow sports, both our attendance numbers and our revenue are increasing to match those options.
Wonderful.
Next is an overview of just some of the events and programs that are going on at our facilities at the Case Santa Sarah Senior Center. Nutrition education workshops are continuing. That's been a big hit, and so that will continue both in English and Spanish options. We will be hosting a healthy aging and dementia workshop coming up next week, along with additional workshops such as cell phone 101 for our seniors, transportation, a fun activity called Name That Tune, as well as our monthly food box, of course. Additionally, we are still taking some registration for our Learn to Swim programs, primarily with level 3, 4, and 5. Our lower levels for level 1 and level 2, along with our new offering of Parent and Me, is pretty much full for the summer, so we're super excited, and can add additional classes if we have the ability, staff and resource to do so, to accommodate public needs. We are having our final session of the Get Her in the Game program on June 14th. We're very excited to see how that program progresses. It was put on via a grant via NRPA, and we are looking at ways to continue the theme of the program in getting our young ladies into different types of sports activities and programs, and helping them continue that pipeline later on in life.
Could you tell us about the transportation workshop? I noticed that on there. I'm not sure what it's about.
Sure. So we have a variety of different transportation options for our seniors and our disabled residents here in the city of Menifee. And so we have a monthly transportation workshop at the Case Santa Sarah Senior Center to just discuss what those options are. Most of them are free or at a very, very low cost to our seniors and our disabled population. We additionally have information, applications, for our seniors to be able to fill out on site to get enrolled in some of those programs. And they include our dial-a ride. It talks about our different RTA bus routes in the city, along with our trip program, which is a mileage reimbursement program. Our Go-Go Grandparent, which utilizes Lyft and Uber drivers to help with door-to-door shuttle service, along with Caravan, who's been a great partner with us for the last couple of years, also providing door-to-door shuttle services.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Commissioner Tremblay has a question or a comment here as well.
Sorry to backtrack a little bit. It's more in alignment with the revenue. For May, it looks like it was 137,000. Is that gross or net? Like, is that before we pay staff and everything? That's what we walk away with as a community?
So yeah, this is just revenue that goes back to the general fund. It doesn't go into salaries or anything. So it's just what we take in from programs that we offer.
Oh, okay, perfect. Sorry, thank you.
And I also have a question or a comment from Commissioner Sanchez.
Yes, just a quick question. I'm sorry if I missed it. On the Roblox, the Studio Lab, is there still availability, or is that booked?
I believe there is, but I can definitely look into that and then let you know.
Okay, I was just wondering if somebody's looking and they have any questions or, thinking about getting their child in there.
Oh, absolutely. So if they have any questions about any of our summer offerings, we have information on our website, or they can give us a call during operational hours, and we'll be able to navigate and let them know how many spots we have available and if they have any questions regarding the camp or the classes.
Okay, and one more question. Where is it at? Is it,
I believe our Roblox and robotics classes do take place at the Community Services Department. At Lazy Creek. I'm sorry.
Lazy Creek? Okay, thank you. Thank you.
All right, moving on.
And then here are just some of the other programs that are taking place this summer and going into a fall. We do have some available spots for some of our summer camps. Most of them are pretty full, but if anyone is still looking for options this summer, please take a look at our website or give us a call to get more information on what's available and what might be a good fit for their kids. Additionally, we're still getting ready for our flag football league that will take place in the fall season. We're already accepting registration now. It is co-ed, and we're welcoming any of our youth to join us. We are having a Get Fit in 6 program. This is a little bit of a twist on our normal Get Fit programs. We are partnering up with our instructor, Lulu Renti, who is from Nutrition Elevated here in town, doing 1 hour weight and free weight workouts. They are a little bit more hard hitting, and they are targeting specific workouts such as ab workout. They're doing arms, getting the heart racing, so different types of workouts to increase the intensity.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that update. Do we have any other comments or questions, commissioners? All right. Moving on to 9.5, special events update.
Be me again. So as you know, we are getting started with our Park After Dark series, and that is a variety of different events such as our Menifee Moonlight Markets and summer concerts. Their first one will be taking place next Friday at Underwood Park. We're very excited about that. The band will be Live from Earth, which is a tribute to Pat Benatar. We have an additional Menifee Moonlight Market and concert taking place in July. We also have 2 more movies in the park coming up. Of course, our famous Independence Celebration event taking place on June 28th, where we'll also be inviting our commissioners to join us for the community parade prior to the rest of the event and the fireworks celebration. And next week, we will be at Lake Elsinore Storm Stadium together with Menifee Rotary Club, MUSD Special Olympics, and our CPAC organization to bring All Abilities Night to the community. So we are encouraging residents to join us at Storm Stadium. Ticket prices are $13.25. However, $1 of every ticket sold under that will be going back to the Rotary Club, specifically for use for special needs programming here in the city of Menifee. There'll be resource tables there, sensory kits, a sensory tent, and just additional activities for anyone in attendance.
All right. Do we have any comments or questions, commissioners? All right. Thank you for that. Okay, moving on to 9.6, Capital Improvement Program update.
All right, thank you. Good evening, Commission. So just not much updates on all this. The biggest one is going to be our park lighting for Kai Thomas, which was already completed, and then the pump track itself. So we put solar lighting on over at the Gale Webb pump track. So it's just on the pump track and the parking lot. It goes off by 10 p.m., so it's not on all night long, but people could riders can definitely ride into the night. We ended up getting some shots so you can see the difference of the cars that are driving by compared to the lights. So it definitely lights up. Those are all solar powered, so no electrical lines or anything run to them. And it's just a good visual right there to be able to see how nice the lighting are that we finally completed and the residents can use in the evening times, especially coming in when we do into the winter. Obviously, it's light until almost 9 now, so they're not using it as much, but coming into the fall and winter time, it'll definitely get a lot more use going into the evening time. Then in the middle of summer, when it's a little too hot out, they'll be able to go in the evening time and be able to ride. So that is my capital improvement update. If you guys have any questions on those.
Commissioner Sanchez.
I do on the, that same park we were just talking about, the restroom, I think when we approved this last year, we were talking about 300,000 or something total. And I'm seeing here the sewer connection, is that the sewer connection alone, 800,000?
Yes, so because of the sewer connection, they have to, as you can see in the picture that's there, it's dark where the car's coming down the street there. That's a culvert that it goes there. So the connection, it has to go from there to it has to bore under that culvert. And our capital improvement program, our division is helping us with this project. So they've taken the lead and we're definitely working with it on the background. But the cost of it has gone up tremendously because of that, going under the culvert and being able to, that's the closest sewer line that's there. The other options we're still looking at is having a pump station and doing that, but again, the price of those are increasing, and that's just to have the regular sewer line.
Thank you.
Okay, any other comments or questions? All right, moving on to item 9.7, Maintenance Division Report.
Okay, we had over 500 work orders submitted, 400 from the parks and the right-of-ways, 101 from our facilities, and then we had 72 that were put in by residents. Again, we love that number, that increasing, it just helps us to be able to put that in. We could take care of it right away as soon as we can, if possible, unless we order parts or any of that. We still have 3 of those in process, and then we've had over 200 inspections of the parks. We trimmed over 400 trees in this last month. Most of our work is obviously the park maintenance, and then you'll see over the next 2 months that irrigation repairs are going to end up on your pie chart there. Will get a lot larger because of the more use of the irrigation. We are not. So we also have facility maintenance. That's City Hall, Police Department, the fire stations, the Case Scenario Center, Lazy Creek, all those buildings. So any facility maintenance, it is under community services. So that's what those are, is that facility maintenance as well. Changing, it could be for the plumbing, lighting, anything, any building. Correct. Yeah, that's what that is. And I know we consider a park a facility sometimes, but yeah, we're talking about a building, a structure, correct? Yeah. So, and then out of those, our highest one is obviously City Hall. This is our most active that public comes in with any of those work orders. We also have a couple hundred employees here, so it is the busiest of all of our facilities. The second would be actually the senior center, how busy that is there. Our projects that we have is the KC, we call it a KC renovation. A car had hit one of the buildings, so we're tying that up now. We've got that repaired. Our fire station 68, as you can see in those pictures there, we removed the landscape. We put a rock and decomposed granite with some metal plants that are in there, the decorative plants. So less water, obviously less maintenance that we're going. We're not quite complete there, but that's what we're doing in-house with the parks and the facilities guys, and then we will work station 76. Once we finish this one, we'll finish 76 and do some of the same stuff, but there's more plant material and stuff there, but we're trying to cut costs on water usage and everything there, and the maintenance. Now, if you go back, if I was on all those work orders, so our highest parks were actually Courts Ranch and Centennial Park, and then the right-of-ways is Gallery Oaks, which is up off of Scott and Marietta Road, and also Zone 38, which is Marietta and Rouse. So those are the 2 LMD areas. One's a CSA, actually, one's a LMD, but those are right-of-ways that took the most time for us to repair. We wanted to change it up a little bit instead of just having that graph we go over, so do something a little new. Our projects that we had, obviously the parks guys was the lighting project at Gale Webb. The tree removal and replacement, we're doing some of that through Audie Murphy Development, up Newport Road and up Murphy Ranch Road over the next few weeks. Our sports field turf grass certification, we've had we've had multiple of us that are taking a turf science class. We've already been certified for that, which helps us with our turf management program. So it's good to have that, especially with the more use of our parks and everything like that. So we can actually have a turf management program and work our way to a healthy, thriving sports fields. So, and then Fire Station 68 landscaping. And then also our park rangers, our Good Morning Nature is Fridays at 9:30 to 10:30. That's the ages 3 to 5. And then our camp out, which is going to be the biggest event that we have, is July 11th through 12th at Lazy Creek Park. And that'll be from 5 p.m. till 9 a.m. that following morning. I don't know if there's any spots left open on that one. We could look, but if there is, I would register now because I know that one fills up fast. But that's all the updates I have. If you guys have any questions.
Thank you for that.
Yes. The Casey Center. So it was stucco to where it's all there. If you were driving by, it would look like it was painted wrong, but it's just the stucco color. So they're going to be painting tomorrow. They should be finished with the paint color on that. So no one will even know it was ever touched. So it's almost done.
All right, I believe we have a question or comment from Commissioner Tremblay.
Thank you for all that information. I was just curious. I know Laladera Park is used quite often. Have you guys had a lot of work orders from that area at all?
We do have a lot of work orders. We have a lot of work orders with all the parks, but I don't know off the top of my head like what those were. I could definitely get that answer for you. But we do have a lot of work orders in there. A lot of them are restroom repairs, and we have staff there Tuesdays and Thursdays for the ball fields, and then walking around, and then our daily inspections. So we're there a lot too. But yeah, we do have a lot of work orders there, but it's not any more than any other park, kind of.
Okay, so Courts and Centennial tend to be the problem child?
No, this last month it was. A lot of times at Centennial or Audie Murphy, because we're so many sports leagues, random this last month, we had more active things going on at Courts, so.
Thank you.
No
Okay.
rhyme or reason.
Thank you. And Commissioner Sanchez.
I'm very pleased to see that the vandalism is down. I think one meeting we had, vandalism was pretty high, 2%. It's pretty good. Question I have is Gail Webb, the solar lights. How many hours do these lights provide in the evening? They're 100% solar, right?
They're 100% solar. So we are able to control them. So they could be on, if we needed them, they could be on all night. The battery would last. They're the same type of lighting that's through the Quail Valley development, our Quail Valley community up there that they put the solar lights on there. So we could have it on all night, but then it just gives kind of people a free ride to, we want to be able to shut down the park. So that's why we do it at 10 p.m. We should turn those lights off. Most parks we do have lights on, the walkway lights all night long for safety reasons. But that park we're able to shut down so it would stop riding.
Okay. And what is the life expectancy of these light poles?
These batteries, I believe we have a 15-year warranty on the batteries. I might be wrong on that, but I believe it was a pretty high warranty on the batteries, and then we'll be able to do a replacement on those.
Okay. And do we plan on converting any of the other parks to solar?
We do. We've actually installed Lyle Marsh Park, Nova Park. We've already done solar at those parks in the past, a couple years back, and they're still working great. We put it around the playground at Lyle Marsh, and then we did the same thing at the playground around Nova Park's playground, as also some bollards for walkway that are there. And then they're also the same, I don't believe the same vendor, but the same concept that's on Paloma Wash is those bollards that are on there. Those are all solar as well.
Are we going to get the solar ones for Laladera?
Laladera has, no, so Laladera has walkway lights already. So it has electrical walkway lights, it has lights on the basketball and lights on where the pickleball is, it used to be the tennis. We just do not have sports field lighting.
Right. Are we thinking about doing that?
That's in the design right now,
Okay.
is the sports field lighting, but that would be Musco lighting, so that will have electricity, those won't be solar. To have sports field like that, their solar just isn't a possibility.
And one last question on that. Maintenance-wise, is it more cost-effective to have the solar, I would assume?
No, it's, yes, it's more cost effective. It definitely, we don't have an electric bill,
Right.
obviously off of there. And electric, I think I mean, each time it's going up almost like 6% a year. It's increasing a lot. So it is definitely more cost effective to have the solar on those.
Good to know. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, any other questions or comments?
Just out of curiosity, I know, kind of like on a side note with the amphitheater, they were pushing the opening date out to the fall. Was there any update on how that is progressing?
We currently don't have any new information to share at this time, but we hope to have some in the near future. So.
Okay, I think that's good for item 9. Moving on to agenda item 10, Commissioner reports on committee activities. Do we have any?
I don't really have any. I did go to the storm. It's not a Menifee thing, but did go to the storm for Family Faith Night and saw quite a few people from Menifee out there. So it was nice to see people get out and celebrate.
Thank you. All right.
I was gonna say I was able to do the voting for, is it Teen of the Quarter? Always forget the name, but that's always
Awards.
a fun experience. They did, I believe Teen of the Year. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make the event, but going through the process every year, I'm always surprised by how resilient our young students in the community are. The only thing I would possibly recommend, which I believe Community Services is the one who oversees that process, is really trying to get more outreach so we can receive a lot more, I guess, feedback from the community. Because I feel like a lot of people have contact with these youth, whether they volunteer or they're a teacher or they're a part of a sports program. But it seems to be very condensed, or even like faith-based. There's a lot of like youth programs for kids at churches and whatnot, where the kids are doing a lot of work. And a lot of times we get these reports back and it's the teacher, which they highlight a lot on what the kid is doing in class, but they can't really speak enough to what happens outside of that, other than, if the child decided to tell them about it. So I think it would be really nice to have more of a variety, because there may be points in there where like, oh, they volunteer at the hospital. It'd be nice to have someone from the hospital, nominate a child, or, if Chick-fil-A has teenagers that work there, they can also nominate someone. So I think just really extending out further than just the school, because I feel like I've done it for a few years now, and it seems to be the same. But it would be nice to see a blend, because I do feel like a lot of people have more touch and reaches on these athletes, even within our programming, within community services. So that's the only thing I wanted to point out, but yeah.
Appreciate the feedback.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions on number 10? Or well, wherever we are. All right, moving on to item 11, future agenda requests. I do have, there's one thing that I wanted to bring up as far as the e-bike situation, let's call it, at the parks. We have, there's a lot of people, they're not paying attention to watching out for their safety, they're just running and catch a Frisbee or a ball. And so I just wanted to see if we could move on a discussion on essentially e-bikes at parks. As an agenda item, yes. Just e-bikes at parks. I mean, I'd really like to see some level of improved safety there. So if I could hopefully get a second. Thank you.
Okay, so e-bikes at parks and trails is the future agenda item request?
Correct.
Discussion?
Essentially the safety, mainly the safety issues, but also vandalism is another issue.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me, I have a question. Are you saying parks in general, or strictly playground restriction?
Well, the fields, the parks, the playgrounds, the trails. I mean, it's one thing on the street, you know what I mean? But it's, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think we have an idea of what the information we can present, especially because we are working on things like updating our park signage, working with Menifee PD for both enforcement and education, and kind of wherever the discussion that the commission would like to further hone in on. I welcome that feedback.
I have a question. Would it be beneficial to the commission to know on a monthly basis, I guess, or quarterly, the number of citations, incidents that the police has reported?
So unfortunately, that information isn't readily available or reported to the Parks, Recreation, and Trails Commission, but Menifee PD does provide a quarterly update to City Council on a regular basis. So I believe that information may be a part of that component. However, as far we can report on any citations that our park rangers do in our parks and trails and local facilities, but that's the extent of our purview.
Okay. Do we need to go through the different items that are listed here, or do I need to read those out?
No, those are on the agenda, and we're still targeting those dates.
Perfect. All right. Do we have any other input for item number 11?
Mine was just, I believe I had Brent brought it up a few meetings ago regarding kind of like trails and roadways in connection with our local schools, and like how easily is it specifically for our high schools, for our older children to get to and from school. I think last time I had brought it up, there was some type of discussion around a different department that oversees kind of like the roadways, and maybe they can provide some insight or feedback. I'm not sure if that's still something that can happen.
I believe it was at the last meeting we had Public Works and our CIP division come and present on the active transportation plan that highlighted the connectivity between schools and roadways and bicycle paths. So that was our addressing that item.
Do you recall what number that, or what it fell under?
It was a presentation at April's meeting, or was it May meeting? May meeting, I believe.
Okay, because I was like glancing through the minutes, I couldn't locate it, but I'll look at it after the fact. I don't want to delay that. Thank you.
Just as a quick note, Commissioner Sanchez, May 28th, the City of Menifee, the Police Department, they conducted what would you call it? Some type of a thing where they are out, in force.
An operation.
An operation, thank you. And I guess it shows that there were 52 drivers or pedestrians that were contacted, and what is it here? Where would I see my numbers? Yeah, I guess it doesn't really say how many were specifically cited or anything like that, but they are actively out and about. This was a press release from the Menifee Police Department. All right, I guess that covers it for today's meeting. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
A motion.
All right, the meeting is adjourned at 6:48. Thank you all so much. Thank you for coming out.